guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, he's alive. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana, to the golden coast of California. Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop. And his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, he's alive. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on the front line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, pay the ultimate price. He was the man of the house when he was born. His family is proud but torn. But if you knew him, you would understand. He was raised on how to be brave, just to see the flag still wave. And then he came home with only one hand. He's Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, he's alive. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stay on this front line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, he'll pay the ultimate price. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, he's alive. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Marching line, marching line. Hey, hey.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, good evening, Erie County. How we all doing tonight? Man, I'm telling you, August, and we are slipping away. I just can't believe how quick they have this month has gone by. Wow. But that's okay. That's what we like about Erie County. That's what makes it one of those special places. You know, we basically get all the seasons, and we just got to cram the really funner ones into the sun into the sunny times, and that's okay. That's why we like it. Take the bikes out, take the boats out, whatever you guys got to do, and then wintertime comes around, you get to work on your house and hang out in your workshop in the basement. So, wow, I tell you what, I basically say this every Wednesday. I say, wow. I mean, we're considering doing a second show because there's just so much that piles up in 1 week in the Erie County, and then piles up in the state, and piles up in the big picture, and that's where we're basically looking at is at our basic elections. Everything seems to be going. I'm starting to see some TV commercials for Dan Laughlin. Mike has got some TV commercials out on the internet, and they look pretty good, right to the point. Stay on the topics. This whole who I am and why you need to vote for me because who I am and what nationality or what skin color I have is just it's baloney. You the folks are getting sold a bag of man, I almost said a bad word there. A bag of baloney with this Harris thing. How do you go from the worst rated vice president in the United States? I mean, in history, the worst rated vice president in the history of the United States. They throw out Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, you're in. Now everybody loves Harris. 'Cause the Democrat cult party, I tell you what, they're basically giving the people their marching orders and say, "This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna like it, and this is how we're gonna do it." So we got a lot of things going on tonight. We got a couple callers coming in. I usually do an 8:30 call with a special guest. Kim Hunter's gonna come in and give us an update on everything she's working on because our actual guest, Elizabeth Miller, can't come in till 9 and she's a local podcast. She's on social media. She'll give us all her information. She does what I do. And you know what? I was sitting there thinking, why can't we work together? I mean, have these two voices out here in the internet world. Why can't we come together and talk about these things that we need to talk about and to help people get motivated and do what they need to do? And then we're going to have our local captain of the Republican committee guy. He's our local captain. We voted him in. He oversees all the other folks that are running around doing projects here on behalf of the Republican Party. Like I said, I'm the Harbor Creek representative, and that's why you see me out with the Trump trailer getting people registered. Man, I'm telling you, that's a good segue. I know we do this. We do it every week. We're going to keep doing it because you know what? I have people physically stopping at my house. Hey, Brian, explain this mail-in ballot to me. Explain how it works. Why should I do it? I don't trust them. I said, you have to trust them in your county. They did a good job. Other than the Democrats are controlling the Board of Elections, thanks to the local Republicans not getting out and voting. I'm not going to yell at you again. We're going to talk about it again. And we're going to talk about it again. Again, mail-in ballots. This is the one that came out of for the primary for Donald Trump. This one came out in the primary also. It's a visual aid. They all look alike. And, skip the line in pa.vote. Again, skip the line in pa.vote. You can go to that website. It's an official website from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And you can get registered to vote. You can do it that way. Or you reach over here and grab this one. See, this is the official one. This is the one that I carry around. Kim carries around. Everybody carries around. This is the Pennsylvania voter registration application and mail-in ballot. So there we go. We do that. So like I said, breaking news, Kamala Harris is not coming to Erie. Everybody put their sad face on. Go to your safe place. We're sad. She was supposed to come here on Sunday the 18th, which is the Trump train day. They were calling for 80% chance of rain. They've dropped it down to 70, so it looks like it's slowly dropping down. That's good. We're going to keep it. It doesn't matter. This is a rain or shine event. If our soldiers can stand out in the rain and the snow and the sleet, we can drive our vehicles in it. We'll just take a time, slow down, no big deal. But again, that is Sunday, the 18th at high noon. We had it scheduled a little bit earlier, but the church folks said, Brian, you're not thinking of us church folks. I humbly apologized and we moved it to 1:00. They said, yes, we can do the 1:00 thing. We're meeting out in Northeast at the old Chevy dealership, right across from LGE Coaches. Brendan will have some Trump merchandise, hat, a couple flags, some T-shirts, custom-made T-shirts. So if you need your Trump garb, your swag, make sure you stop and see Brenda. Please bring cash. It's tough to get. Sometimes she has a little card reader, but then of course they charge her for that. And of course, she got to charge you. And then sometimes you don't get to go to internet hookup, and we have logistic problems. So this is it. This is exciting. We're getting ready. I've had tons of people reach out to me, Brian. Where's the route? I will put that up here the next couple of days. It's pretty much fine tuned, but we had to tweak it a little bit because the city of Erie has Celebrate Erie. The plan was to come across 12th Street, take a right onto State Street, drive the Trump train right down State Street, right down the heart of the city of Erie. And oops, we had to make a detour. So we'll post that here. But basically, we'll just come down to Bayfront Connector, hang a left on State Street, go down to the dock. There's that first UE there. Woo! We'll do a big UE because we got some big vehicles, some trailers, and then we will come back up State Street. We're gonna have to do some jockeying around the downtown. We're just gonna go right, jump over to French Street. That way we can encircle Celebrate Erie. Well, I mean, it should be Celebrate the Democrat Party because that's all it's really down there. But we're gonna come down there and we'll make our presence. So then we'll just come across 12th Street. I'm sorry, 10th Street, and we'll head down Peach Street, go down, come back to the Bayfront Connector, and we will announce the official landing spot momentarily. Because, like I said, I don't want the haters. The haters are watching. Boy, I tell you what, the haters have been hating on other platforms. I get text messages from people all the time. Man, Shank, they are hating on your Trump trailer. Well, yeah, because people literally stop me while I'm driving. Hey, stop, 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 stop. Can I get a picture? All right, get a picture. We get a picture of you, and they get a picture. I literally I pulled in someone's yard driveway the other day, dropping off yard sides. Dropping off yard side, a little white car pulled in behind me. Say, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. I'm not stalking you. Can I please get a picture of, the Trump trailer and the mannequin of Trump? I'm like, you knock yourselves out. I'm not going to be anybody to say no to a picture. That I said, all I ask is, A, put them on social media so the haters have really something to hate. Because I don't see the Democrat Party doing nothing. All I see is Tallarico's big head on the local Democrat controlled news feeds on how great Harris was, where 3 months ago she was horrible and we can't stand her, and oh my God, she was the worst thing next to red licorice, like licorice. So it's just an issue of it's amazing. They just whatever they're told to do, they do. Whatever their marching orders, they don't. I would really like to see the local news. I know. I don't want to irritate any of them because they've been fair to me when I was on county council. How about the Democrats get their time? How about the Republicans get a quick minute on saying, hey, when Vance came on board, they gave him a little blurb and off they go. But my goodness, Kamala Harris, changed her beads to a different direction. Breaking news, breaking news. She has this, how many, wait, she's been doing this thing for how many weeks now? Not one press conference, not one press conference. And this isn't just me saying it. I mean, I watched the big shows. I watched them all. Even stomach be still. CNN is starting to question it because they have nothing. They're just going to play this Sleepy Joe, hang around in the basement, don't say anything, and that way they can't get you on anything. Who's going to get you? All the news medias are basically Democrat controlled, and they won't say anything against her, or this, I did a lot of research on this vice president choice. Could you get any more extreme left? We've got some videos. We've got some videos that are coming out of Minnesota on what a domestic terrorist, socialistic piece of crap this guy actually is. But I was a school teacher. Yeah, there's a great story behind that too. Well, I was a veteran of 24 years. Okay, you did that, but you left your soldiers, you left your troops high and dry. You have been accused of stolen valor 1,000 times by people that were in the military with him, have served underneath him, served above him, have basically come out and said, yeah, you're not, yeah, you're full of crap. You did not retire a command sergeant major. That's a lie. You were demoted back down one grade because he didn't fulfill his obligation to be a command sergeant major. I mean, that's the highest ranking enlisted guy And I think it was a brigade level, a battalion or brigade level. I don't know. I'm not sure where he was, but trust me, command sergeant major is no. You have to have your kind of your backside together. But here's the problem: he didn't. And then I watched a video of him talking about, oh, seeing the soldiers come home, when they're back at Air Force Base in Iraq, and he goes, that was really heart wrenching to watch the coffins with the flags draped across it. It was a lie. He never even stepped foot in Iraq. He barely was in Turkey. So another, again, stolen valor, lie, deception, because all these Democrats, that's all they can do. And these cult member Democrats just like, whatever you say, master, whatever you say, we'll vote for every piece of crap you tell us to. It's ridiculous. But it is just absolutely disgusting. Get out here and research, people. Get out and do the research. It's 8:15, waiting for my caller. He said that I call at 8. Told him to call at 8:15. So, we'll just make sure that I didn't miss the call. I have my ringers turned up all the way. Got my ringers turned up all the way, and yeah. Nope, didn't miss a call because like I said, I have the Trump stuff coming in here. A lot of things going on. We'll get it at pretty deep. Like I said, I have Kim Hunter coming up in at 8:30 for her update with everything that she does, which she does a million things a day. Then she's like, I'm tired. All right, sir, you are live. How are we doing this evening?
Oh, I'm doing
Can you hear me okay?
good. Hey, I'm sorry. I thought Kim was going to call in first.
Nope,
So
you're
I was-
8:15. She's 8:30.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
So you're live. What you got for us, brother?
So, anyways, my name is Logan Reynolds. I called in about a few weeks ago. I'm the East County chairman for the Erie County Republican Party. So, anyways, the last time I called in, we were trying to get contact information from me, and what I've decided to do is to get a secondary phone and a secondary phone number, so you guys can reach out and contact me. I'll possibly be at the Trump train, so you guys can come up and talk to me. I'll be standing by Brian, so you can introduce me to you guys. I'm sure some of you have seen my truck here in Erie County. Once you see it, you'll probably know that truck. It's very distinct here in Erie County. So outside of that, what's kind of going on is we have less than 100 days until the election season, and we really need to get out there and we really need to canvass and door knock and make phone calls and text people. There are several platforms that we can use. I'm personally planning on taking walk list here in Erie County, and for anyone who's interested, sending those out to anyone who wants to do some door knocking and provide any type of material for you guys. So that's kind of what my plan is right now. We really need people to get on the ground and do some door knocking. Brian, do you have any questions at all?
No, that was the biggest question we had was how do people gonna get a hold of you? And that's the
Yeah,
key is
yeah,
communication. And with all this modern stuff we got going on here, it's a shame that we forgot to talk to each other. So that's the big one is making sure that we can get a hold of you
yeah,
and then we can get these tasks done. I mean, we've been kind of working into, with a local candidate representatives. We got Pete Mitchell with Dave McCormick. We got Sam with the Trump folks. They're working out of the Erie County Republican headquarters. Scratch my head and roll my eyes, but hey, that's what they're doing. Not my deal. But it's I worry about East County. That's who I'm elected to represent. So are you. So I don't worry about them on that side of town. I worry about what's going on this side of town. And we've been independently just kind of working and we've been getting those mail-in ballots because I know we got to get people registered. That is the key. Get new people registered. I just had a guy stopped at my house the other day. He said, hey, man, you got one of those things I'm going to change parties. All right. He sent me a text. I talked to my wife. She wants one too. All right, I'll get you one. So now we've got party changers, and then they're going to do a
yeah.
mail-in ballot. So again, every single I get irritated with me. My vote doesn't count. I said that's bullshit. Every vote's going to count.
No,
in this
they do.
election.
They
They
do.
do. I know.
Erie County can come down to one vote. Like no joke. This is how split Erie County is. Um, so the number I just ordered the phone. It's coming in. If you come to the Trump train, I will hand out that number to you. Hopefully, the next show that Brian has, I will post that in the comment section, and probably hand that out to Brian, and he can post it on the show platform. So you guys have that direct contact with me. I'm in contact with several people with walk lists. I'm in contact with Micah. I'm in contact with Matt Strubzinski. So I'm in contact with these guys for the most part. And these PA House representatives are really, really, really important. They impact our lives more than Congress, or at the very least, in theory, they should. But these two are really, 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 really important to get into the PA House State of Representatives. Um, Another thing, I know the economy is not good right now. And something that I came across in like the last year is there's two organizations that will pay you guys to go out and canvass.
Right.
That is that is Early Vote Action by Scott Pressler. Anyone who is politically involved probably have has heard of him. So he'll pay you to go out and door knock, which is fair. I'm not sure what the amount is, but if you're looking for a secondary job, like on a second shift or even a first shift, you might as well make door knocking um, worth your time. Another one is PA Chase. There's another guy called Scott Bennett. I have both Scott's numbers. So Scott Bennett is with PA Chase and Scott Pressler is with Early Vote Action. So after this election cycle, and I wish I had known about this a long time ago, but you guys can have a secondary job going out there to get people registered to vote and to let people know who's running for office. One of the main complaints I hear from people and have heard from people is a big reason why they don't vote is they do not know who is running. They do not know who is running. So it's going to take a little effort on our part to make things better. And to make everything simple, is after this election, if you go out and knock on 25 doors a week, that's 2, 3 hours of your time. That's like a neighborhood walk. And that right there will add up over 2, 3, 4 years. So by the next presidential election, it's possible we could have hundreds and hundreds of people signed up to vote. And can I tell you something real quick,
Go
Brian?
ahead. Yeah, you got time.
I have canvassed in Erie County so far, and I have literally had people reach out of their doors for the applications. People are interested in voting this year.
I agree.
You guys have it so easy this year because people are more enthusiastic about Trump than what the media is put out. And my job entails a lot of traveling. I've been through the state of Pennsylvania. I think it's going to go for Trump myself. That's just me saying that.
Oh,
I
that
think it's going to go for Trump. It's nothing but Trump, 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 all through Pennsylvania. So here in Erie County, we need to put in a little bit more effort. The number, I need to know where you guys are living. I need to know if you guys want to go out there and knock. Uh, it, at the beginning of the election cycle, I would have said 45 doors per week, but we're up to 100. But at this point, it's just knocking in. It's just knocking on as many as you have time for, because that right there will move the needle. Also, Early Vote Action and PHEs, they have a call and text mechanism within those apps. So if you aren't physically able to, you can call people and you can text people. Also on those apps, you get a Google Map layout that has like little bubbles on it, and you can click on it and see where the low propensity Republicans live, and you can knock on their doors. So you're not knocking on any Democrat doors or anyone who might be hostile. But those are the two programs right now that I would recommend. But I'm also trying to get a hold of people with walk lists and actually send you guys a picture of recommended houses to knock on. Brian, do you have any other questions?
No, you gave a lot of information, and I'm telling you, if you don't think the Democrats are
Yeah.
not doing this, you're crazy. They have been
Oh,
doing it for
yeah.
years, and it's
Yeah.
taken a little bit of oof to push the Republican Party to, this isn't the 50s, this isn't the 60s, not the 70s or 80s. Everybody wants paid,
Mhm.
everybody wants some little bit of bling, and
Mhm.
it's a good, honest, couple extra bucks, and you're moving the needle. We have moved the needle, people.
Oh, yeah.
It is not time to let off on the gas pedal. It's time to put the clutch in, put it in third gear, pop that clutch, punch the gas, and let's get this thing done.
So I am possibly coming up with some temporary pop-up tents. I'm just going to be floating around Erie County
Yep.
trying to get people registered to vote. So if you see my tent, swing by. If we exchange numbers, I'll put down on the pin where I'm at, and you can tell your friends and family this is where you can go get Trump signs. I'm not guaranteeing any hats or shirts or flags right now. Possibly Trump signs I could possibly guaranteed, but if anything, I'll have voter applications at those tents. So you can tell your friends and family who want to vote, hey, there's this tent right here. You can go and get registered to vote. If anyone wants to go out and door knock because they're a little too nervous, then I'm more than willing to go out there with you guys. So um, I,
And
hopefully I'll be at
that's a
yeah.
good
Hopefully
suggestion. Someone that hasn't done it before, pair up with someone
yeah
that has done it. That
yeah
way, you take that fear and nervousness, and making sure you have your facts right, make sure you have a little cheat sheet with you. And obviously if the person's like, "Ah, rah, 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 Trump's this," have a nice day. God loves you. Walk away. Don't confront them. Don't get combative with them. If they slam the door in your face, I've had them slammed doors in my face. You just go, whatever, move on. So, yeah, that's a great point. And just let me know ahead of time. I can meet you there. I'll bring the Trump trailer out. We'll do a Facebook Live. We'll say, hey, this is where we're at. The road show is here, getting people registered. That dumb, that dumb mannequin people stop and get pictures with all the time.
hmm
So yeah, other than that, man, let's go ahead and bring this thing in for a landing. It's almost 8:30. You brought a great
yep
some information. You get me that phone number. Brenda can actually, she listens to everything we say. She can type it in on the scrolling message
yeah.
boards down on the bottom. Once we have it, and you're okay with that,
Oh, no, no, no. I'm completely fine. This this phone number is for you guys to contact, and if you know any friends or family that need, excuse me, if you know of any friends or family that want to get registered to vote or want to volunteer, this number is for you guys
right.
to send them to.
Yeah, Kim just put a text in the room here. If anybody wants to walk in the city, let her know. Reach out to Tim. She is like the queen of door knocking. Trust me, she could sell ice cubes to Eskimos in the city of Erie.
All right.
Man, Mr.
Well,
Logan, thank you for calling in. We appreciate it.
yep.
You're
Thank you.
always welcome. You don't, we're always here. I appreciate you calling, texting me and say, hey, what's a good time? Well, we have to kind of move with the waves and just kind of
Yep.
adjust. So we appreciate it. When we get that information, we'll get that out, and we'll get some volunteers to help you. We thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Keep up the good work.
All right. Thank you. You take care, Brian.
Thank you. And
Bye.
see, this is something that I haven't seen in the past. I mean, I've been doing this for about 5 years now. This is something I haven't seen. I haven't seen that. I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just stating the facts. Out here in Harbor Creek, there was no Republican Party committee person out here. There wasn't, and that's bad. Heidi, you came in here and we talked about this is your first time voting. Thank you. We appreciate it. And you came in there and said, I forget what you said. You said you're a first time voter, two of you with your kids. This is exactly what we want. This is what we go out there and we sweat and we bleed and we we get irritated, and we go. This is what we need. People, Heidi, thank you. I appreciate it. We need about a 1,000 more of you that bring in 4 voters. This is a walk. Fetterman, Senator Fetterman said on an interview, I don't know if Brendan was able to download it or not. He stated he knows Trump is going to take Pennsylvania. Fetterman, Mr. Democrat. See, Kim's got her own. She's got her own ringtone. All right, Kim, you're live.
Well, hello, good evening, everybody, and how are you doing, Brian?
I'm doing fine. This is a show that has moving parts. We I love it when we get callers in. We love your updates because you always bring us great information. So, what do you got for us on Boots on the Ground mobile reporter Kim Hunter?
Woo hoo! Everybody, get on board the Trump train this Sunday. And this thing is going to be so awesome because we got 2 sponsors together, guys. And the first, I'd say about 90 people who show up are going to get an awesome free t-shirt.
Free.
That you can display in being a Republican to everybody you know. It's going to say, all aboard Trump train on the front where the pocket goes by Restore America. And on the back, it has a list of all the candidates' names. And I'm telling you what, guys, this is a one-time shot. Because my poor Brenda was out in the heat trying to bust her butt to get these things done. And I was doing my best to help her. Sometimes I got my fat butt in her way. But let me tell you, she was sweating to get these things done. And we appreciate our Brenda.
Yeah, I mean, you came over and you girl, the ladies were out there, had a tent set up. They were pressing outside. They borrowed my DeWalt portable battery power flag, but that's okay. That's okay. Whatever I got to do to help the team. They had a great system, and pressing them all out. Yeah, these are free T-shirts. They were sponsored and bought and paid for as a gift to you. Like we talked about the rain, the chances of rain have kind of stepped down a little bit. So let's give a prayer.
I believe God will be shining on us. I don't believe we're going to have any rain.
Yeah, no, I got that.
If we do, it'll be an obnoxious little sprinkle, an obnoxious little pest like the D's are. But other than that, I think it'll be good. The next thing is, guys, okay, we are doing the math and we're doing the figuring, and we need poll watchers. Every single candidate on the ballot, we have 12 in our area. Each of them can have 3 poll watchers per precinct. And this is where we stop the cheating. So if you are available on election day, please let myself know or Brian know. We're trying to comprise a list. Any and all help will be appreciated, even if you can only come and do it for a couple hours, maybe spot somebody like myself or Brent or Brian who will be at the courthouse so we can go get a quick bite to eat or something. Please let us know. And there will be a fabulous training on this and on election law and what you need to watch for. Because remember, Drexel, the pretzel, and Andre, slick as you can get out, Horton, are in charge of elections. So we need people to watch them.
Yeah, and here was a little. The T-shirts were bought by Congressman Mike Kelly, and of course, being the nice guy he is, he helped with the bill. And then on the back, it's not just Mike Kelly; it has all the important. I mean, not that the races aren't important for everybody, but there's only so much room on a T-shirt, But that way, we can get the people out there and get them motivated to come out and get a T-shirt, do a Trump train.
Right.
We were talking earlier. We're going to take it downtown. We're gonna circle the downtown like cowboys and Indians with the Trump train.
Right. But remember, we're Republicans. We don't want to go out of our way to upset anybody or anything. But we still got to make our presence known since the social networking and our news doesn't want to. Did you hear, by the way, the Democrats had a picnic tonight?
Oh, I wasn't invited?
No, and actually, I don't think the Democrats were. It was a UAE union picnic, and the news media announced it as a Democratic picnic.
Oops. Well,
oops is right.
Well,
Tell me that's not a fix. Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, just to let you know, Logan put in the in the room here, and I put it on the big screen. Logan Reynolds, and it's got earlyvoteaction.com. Get yourself, if you want a paper one, we can get you a paper one. But
Yes.
if you want one, you can actually go online. But a lot of people don't like the online thing, you know.
Well, and if you want to, you can also, like you and I've been telling people, Brian, you can join Trump Force 47.
Yep.
They'll set you up on a beautiful app. They're supposedly supposed to give you some free stuff for doing that. So there's lots of avenues. Guys, contact me, contact Brian, contact Logan. One of us will get you set up. And even if you can't go out and door knock, making phone calls is appreciated. I can use help loading up bags. Speaking of bags, woo, we got another great event coming up, Brian, on September 28th.
Mark your calendars.
Mark your calendars, boys and girls. Get on your dancing shoes, get out your grandma's old hats, and get ready to put on some vintage wear. We are going back to the USO 1940s, and we're doing that out in Meadville at the Meadville Airport. This is being sponsored by Restore America and North Coast Flight School, owned by a great Republican, Greg Hayes, and his wife, Carolyn. And this is going to be a lot of fun, guys. And I'm putting together a committee now. I can use all the help I can get, and so any and all suggestions are welcome. And with this, you bring in a valid, filled out, mail-in ballot application. I'm going to give you $5 off your admission.
That was a great idea.
I thank you. I think the brother that God gave me, I didn't ask for, came up with that one. But
Well,
Well,
just a little incentive, just like last time we did a Trump train. We were accepting food for the local because we were still dealing with the scandemic and people were still struggling. We took a food collection and then we donated all the food to the local food bank in Northeast. Because Erie County people are great people. They're giving people. The bikers are great. The excitement I'm seeing around this election. I'll literally post something.
excitement. Remember, I came out to your house. I about passed out because I'm seeing Trump signs in the city of Erie and nobody's stealing them. Remember how excited I was?
I gotta tell you the story. I was driving across 12th Street. A guy had a little Trump yard sign. No big deal. I come by again. He's sitting out there on the porch smoking a cigarette, and he had his Trump sign and a Trump T-shirt on. All right, so I rolled down my window. Beep beep. I didn't have the Trump trailer. The other day I drove by, Trump sign, guy with his T-shirt. He had a 4x4 Trump Vance sign bolted, screwed, duct taped to the side of his house. I'm not going to give the location because I don't want the haters to go down there and rip it off. Because a buddy of mine just posted a video. Every time he puts out a yard sign, they come by and they steal it. He's got them on video, man. It's been taken over to PSP. They're going to do the investigation. Lock them up. Lock them up.
Lock them up. Like I said, next time Brian and I run, I already got a plan for that. I'm going to air tag them things, and I will not hesitate to prosecute you.
Now they're going to check for them. Now they're going to check for them.
Stealing signs is a crime.
Oh, I know.
And I'm going to air tag every single one of them things. And if you take my sign, you take Brian's sign, it's going to go up, and I'm going to know exactly who you are and where you are, and I will prosecute.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, these things cost money.
I had a 4x8 Shank for Sheriff sign. They took a knife to it. There's the official Trump train all aboard. Shut up. Sit down, hang on. August 18th, 12 to 4 p.m. Starting point at 10183 West Main Street, Northeast PA, across the street from LG Coachworks.
Right.
We will travel to Union City and go through the heart of Erie.
Right. And I want to put out just a little disclaimer out there. We are putting together a ladies' free breakfast for Dina and Dave McCormick and the ECRC. No fault of Miss Kuhn. She's a wonderful, wonderful woman. A little bit of the information got confused on that. So if you guys did receive a thing for ladies' tea, please disregard that. You will be getting updates. The date is correct. So save the date. That's correct. But the location and the time is yet to come. And it's going to be fabulous. It's going to be a free event. Dina McCormick's coming out. She's going to have a special guest speaker there. Name has not even been released yet. We're going to get information out to you. This will be a free event.
Is this a
Okay.
girls thing?
Huh?
It's only girls invited.
Only girls.
Well,
But today's day and age, you can identify as a girl,
I was
for
gonna
at least an
say that.
hour.
I'll just shave off my mustache and I'll
You don't even have
self-identify
to do that.
as
A
a
lot of
kitty
these women
cat.
look like guys. I mean, so hey,
Yeah,
all fair.
no,
If
I'll
you can
just be a
identify as a
kitty
cat,
cat. Meow.
meow. So, I want to put that out there, guys. Please save October 8th. It's going to be so much fun. Dave McCormick will be there, his wife Dina, wonderful, beautiful women, beautiful family. They will be accessible to you, is my point. You can go up to them and ask them any and all questions that you have. Take advantage of this situation. Come on out, have a little bit of free breakfast, talk to Dave, talk to Dina, listen to these great speakers. And this is what we do. This is why Brian and Brenda work so hard. We're trying to get these events out there. We want people to feel good about being Americans again. We want you to have that pride like we had during the 9/11. We want you to feel good like we had that pride during World War II with the USO. Get out there. Be proud to be a Republican. Spread the word. Educate people. That's how we're going to win this race.
Yeah, I put one of the guys. We were just kind of like giving our condolences of the worst rated vice president in U.S. history wasn't coming to Erie. We were talking about how sad we were going to our sad place, and this
Yeah.
thing just popped into me. If you don't vote red, this country's dead. I mean, it's a Shank original. It is trademarked, so every time you use it is a nickel.
I'm telling you guys, I'm a Blue Star mom, and Brian knows how passionate I am about our veterans. Everyone in my family has served, almost everybody. Let me recant that. Almost everybody. My son is in the Air Force. In the Middle East, we're under Charlie alert. Guys, girls, we haven't been under Charlie alert in over 10 years. This is serious business, guys. They're getting ready to go to Delta. After Delta, it's game over.
Right.
Do you think they're going to take Kamala Harris seriously? They're not. She's going to give them anything and everything they want.
In our
I don't want my son to die.
Yeah. What is our government doing? They're playing both sides of the fence here. Yay, we support Hamas. Yay, we support them. But we just sent Israel millions of dollars worth of armament. So what is that going to do? It's going to piss off Iran. Iran's going to send more stuff to Hamas. And I'm telling you.
What they're going to do is Iran's going to line it up so Israel's going to get hit from four sides. It reminds me of the days, Brian, a lot of our listeners don't remember. Remember the Iranian hostage crisis?
Oh, yeah.
Carter was a pussy. In the minute that Reagan got elected, everything went back to normal. It's the same way with Trump. Trump gets elected, guys. Hostages will be released. These guys will be pissing in their pants. We're going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to become energy efficient. And we got to get out there. Save your country. Save your nephews, your son's lives. Whoever you know that's in the military, save their lives now.
Oh, I totally agree with you. And when they were talking about this, I watched, the vice president, Mrs. And everything, and she was almost joking about the draft. And they're like, "Well, what about the draft?" She goes, "Oh, that's don't worry, they're already registered because you don't have to register for the draft anymore. Once you turn 18, the government registers you, so you don't have to worry about it." So they're gearing up. And I read I just, this blew my mind. I read this article. I was sitting here, Brenda was, getting the videos together. We're getting everything queued up, ready to go. Reading an article that in boot camp right now, they're not even giving the soldiers real rifles to train with. They're only giving it to them when they have to go to the range.
Yeah, I don't
so
know
what do
about
they
that.
go? Pew pew,
Yeah.
when they're, at least we had, when I went in Army boot camp in 1983, we had our rifles. We were able to put blank adapters on them and shoot blanks. So you learned how that weapon worked. You learned
You
how
need to know how it works. You need
yeah.
to know the kick of your gun. You need to memorize your gun. Your gun is your girlfriend. Your gun is your boyfriend. Your gun is your life.
It's a weapon, not a gun.
It's a weapon,
right?
But it's going to save your life.
Right. Watch Full Metal Jacket. Trust me, the drill instructor will teach you the difference between your weapon and your gun. Trust me, it's a great scene.
Yes. Well spoken.
This
Well
is your
spoken. Well
weapon. This is
spoken.
my gun. This is for fighting. This is for fun.
I remember that
Yeah,
scene.
great.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
And
that
one
was
of them ended up turning their gun off.
that's what I said. It's not a gun. It's a weapon.
Better
But
yet, everybody tune in tonight and watch Patton. Okay, there you go. He had it right to begin with. Get rid of all of them now while we're over here. It's a done deal.
I get it, but like I said, that is if you ever like are in the military, and that's based around the Marine Corps, but I was Army. But you sat back there and went, well, yeah, our Army guys did that too, and yeah, those garbage cans, that was our alarm. Yeah, we had
Yeah,
fire
they didn't have to do
watch.
that in the Air Force.
Yeah, well, I know they had their butlers come in and wake them up with a mitt.
No, I wouldn't say that, but
Yeah,
you have to be really
baloney.
smart to get into the Air Force.
Whatever. Good morning, Master
We'll,
Ward.
we'll agree to disagree on this one and
Yeah.
let this one go.
Good
But the
morning,
point is,
Airman.
guys-
It's time for your OJ. It's time to wakey wakey.
No, it's
Give me a
not.
break. Come on. I spent 6 months on an air base. 6 months. Right out of Army boot camp. We're standing there in a position of attention. We're doing what we're doing. And the cook's like, hey, guys, what are you doing? Sir, we're waiting for breakfast. First of all, I'm not a sir. I'm a contractor. What would you guys like? We're like, uh, we get to think. We're allowed to think
Yeah.
here, make a decision. So, I
it
get
must
it.
have blown your mind away when they said, "How would you like your steak cooked,
Oh,
sir?"
Well, this is breakfast. How would you like your omelet cooked, sir, gentlemen? We get to go up to bust our trays. He's like, don't worry about it. We got people to take care of that.
Don't worry about it.
Don't
They
worry
pick them
about
up for you.
Right. Then I hear the stories.
You don't want to take that civilian out of a job.
I understand that, and I get that. But we poke fun at the Air Force, and we poke fun at the Marines. We poke fun, but we were talking. A bunch of the group's veterans were talking. I said, listen, it didn't matter if there was an airman, a Marine, a Coast Guard guy. I don't see too many Space Force guys falling, because if they fall, they're pretty much dead in the atmosphere. But hey, what do I know?
Yeah.
But it's just
they're pretty
it's
smart.
that inner service, just kind of poke each other, have some fun. There's veterans in this room here. They all have a shit ton of stories about the dumb stuff they've done. I have
Yeah. And
okay.
everybody has.
Yeah.
But and another thing I want to tell people: get online and watch the Elon Musk and Trump interview. Boy, talk about having two smart guys in the same room at the same time.
Broke.
If you didn't want to vote red before, you're going to want to vote red after listening to them too.
They were worried they were going to break the internet, because it was the largest watched, listened to interview in the internet. And of course,
Yeah.
some hack wannabe reporter was talking about when Trump said if he loses, he's going to Venezuela. That's not what he said. Do a fact check on that, please. Somebody on
Fact check.
On aisle 2. I call bullshit.
I call bullshit too. But I'm going to let you go, because I know you have a wonderful guest coming. But, guys, please remember, we need people. If you're available on election day, okay, it's going to come down to that. And remember, we don't have election week or day. We have months.
Right.
And remember, early voting starts when, Brian? September 6th?
I don't know. Look it up.
I think it's
don't
September
know.
6th, 16th. Guys, we are like less than 30 days out.
Yeah, we got it. I know. Then, like I said, that window for getting people registered, changing affiliation is starting to close. We'll get those dates posted for you for next show. Maybe if Sunday's quiet, we'll do a Sunday, Sunday afternoon.
No, you'll be at the Trump train.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, my bad. That's what I got. That's what I got. I got a real.
Brenda got to put you to bed.
Yeah, I got a real wife and a work wife. Trust me, I get it. Between
But
the two
listen,
of them.
guys, seriously about the Trump merchandise, I saw these T-shirts. Oh my God! If I had $100, Brenda would have had it in the bank the other day. These T-shirts are banging.
She made
the hats she's making are off the hook, and the koozies.
Wallets?
Unbelievable.
Don't forget the wallets. I have a custom Brenda wallet. You take the wallet. And
I didn't see the wallet, but please, guys.
Yeah.
Support small business, okay? Help our Brenda out. We all love her, okay? Don't be going online and buying it from goddamn China or someplace. Brenda's right here, okay? She does the best work in the world. She's the fussiest person I know. It's got to be absolutely perfect. I must have about 20 Brenda Shank shirts. They look as good today as they did the day she gave them to me.
Yep.
So when you come out, bring a couple bucks, pick yourself up a hat. It's going to be raining anyways, maybe. Pick up a koozie, support my friend. Please and thank you. And on that note, thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brenda. And I will see you all Sunday.
All right, thanks. We'll see you again. Trump Train Sunday, the 18th at 12 o'clock, high noon in Northeast.
Woo!
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Doo-doo.
Brenda, you got a video for us? We got some doozies this week.
I'm Dan Laughlin. Since 2016, I secured the largest per student funding increase in the history of Pennsylvania schools. I fought for level up funding for other underfunded school districts across this state and won. I voted to keep Harrisburg from raising our taxes by billions of dollars, and I kept my vow to protect women's
I clicked
rights.
the wrong button. My bad. I was trying to make that text go away. Just a little intro. I don't.
I'm Dan Laughlin. Since 20.
It's okay. Play it up.
I'm Dan Laughlin. Since 2016, I secured the largest per student funding increase in the history of Pennsylvania schools. I fought for level up funding for other underfunded school districts across this state and won. I voted to keep Harrisburg from raising our taxes by billions of dollars, and I kept my vow to protect women's rights in the Pennsylvania Capitol. I'm Dan Laughlin, proud of the promises that I've kept for Erie County, and I'm asking for your vote this November.
Dan Laughlin for State Senate.
Now, I want you to know, Dan did not give me one dime to run this ad. I ran this ad because I took it off the internet. I didn't even ask permission. I just took it off the internet. My theory is it's out there. It's fair game. I am pushing Dan. Do I always agree with Dan? Absolutely not. No. Dan and I have disagreed on stuff all before, but that's okay. He's still my guy. I would rather and I don't want this to come out the wrong way. People are like, well, Dan's this, Dan's that. Well, no, okay, you're allowed your opinion. I totally disagree with you. But you know what? At Dan's worst, he is 100 times better than Jimmy. I want to be a Dr. Wirtz. This guy has been nothing but nasty. He hates Republicans. I want you to go on and pick up that rag he writes for, and I want you to read what he says about the local Republicans. He never says nothing nice about any of us. So why would we go, well, Dan's this and Dan's that, and I don't agree with them, so I'm going to vote. If you say you're going to vote for Jimmy Wirtz, just take me off your friends list, because we are not friends. I mean, this is do or die. They have big money coming out of California. Gee, I wonder why, to take Dan out. These people need to put legislation into play that doesn't allow this. You have to be in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to donate to Pennsylvania races. Hey, but what do I know? It's just like the thing what they did with me and Pretzel. $250,000 came out of DC to run all these hate campaign ads. I can't fight that. And what would have been the kick in the teeth? Sorry, I know I sound like a broken record, but here's our Achilles heel. We don't get out and vote. Only 22% of the people got out and voted. It would have been so sweet to take out Pretzel after they spent 200 plus thousands of dollars to take me out so they could control the Board of Elections during the presidential race. Hello, boys and girls. I know sometimes we only look at things from, that high off the table, but we got to look at things this high off the table. Here, I got to bring it up here so you can see that high, because it doesn't work, and it's not working. This whole thing of Democrats, they go out and they knock doors and they pay people, they buy them lunches to go out and vote. It's been noticed. It's been witnessed. Who does anything about it? Because it's a Democrat-controlled arena. Do the research on it. Google it up. How many Democrat councilmen buy people lunches? And I was extra snarky today. Even Brenda said you're an extra snarky today. They were talking about the Celebrate Erie. And of course, what did I post? I really hope the city council people were comped their tickets because I don't want to wake up tomorrow morning. Let's listen to the local news and have one of the councilmen say, "You didn't get my tickets. I'm not putting any money into Celebrate Erie." Boys and girls, that is what we call pay for play, quid pro quo. You don't do something for me, give me something for free. I'm not going to do my job and give you money. Quid pro quo. But that's okay. It's okay in the city of Erie. And they wonder why we just go the cult, not Blue Oyster Cult, because we like Blue Oyster Cult. They got great music. Whoa, good music. It's just a Democrat cult doing whatever they're told. Kamala Harris is bad. Now Kamala Harris is good. Now we didn't want to vote for her last week. Now we're going to vote for her this week. So if you got another video of Brenda, just surprise me with what you got while we stall for our 9 o'clock guest here.
Tim Walz wants to be a heartbeat away from Commander-in-Chief, but Tim Walz has lied about his military record for years.
He's used the rank that he never achieved in order to advance his political career.
Walz lied repeatedly about his rank.
Retired Command Sergeant Major.
Okay.
Retired Command Sergeant Major. Command Sergeant Major.
Retired Command Sergeant Major.
Walz lied about being in combat.
Can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war,
Walz dodged deployment by retiring when he knew his National Guard unit was going to Iraq.
Everybody knew they were going to train and go to Iraq. The warning order basically stated it, and too much later after he knew it, that's when he retired.
Walz disparaged Minnesota National Guard soldiers.
Mayor said I request the National Guard. We're going to have massively trained troops. No, you're going to have 19-year-olds who are cooks.
That same Minnesota National Guard that he disparaged, unlike Walz, served heroically in Iraq and Afghanistan. Tim Walz is not fit to be anywhere near the office of Commander-in-Chief. Tim Walz is guilty of stolen valor.
He abandoned us. What the hell kind of leader does that?
In Minnesota, we respect our neighbors and their personal choices that they make.
Oh, really?
Even if we wouldn't make the same choice for ourselves, there's a golden rule. Mind your own business.
Wait a second.
At the tone, please leave the following information: your name, your callback number, how the stay-at-home order is being violated, and where the stay-at-home order was violated.
Whoopsie daisy.
Yeah. Mind your own damn business. I love how tough he is on the podium. Mind your own damn business. But when he was the governor of Minnesota, he put in a hotline so you could turn your neighbors in for violating the rules of the King Poobah Command Sergeant Major wannabe fake guy. Play the video with the paintball.
They just keep coming.
Attention.
Go inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get your hook now! Let's go! Light him up! Go
Light him up!
Get inside of the house!
Get in. Get in.
Oh, God, that hurt.
Are you okay?
Right on the fucking crotch.
So, what did the Gestapo, and I don't like to use that term loosely, but what did the Gestapo do to people that were sitting on their own front porches during the illegal scandemic lockdown? He had, I don't know, it's hard to say, but did you hear the music? It was Star Wars. I was howling. So these, I don't know who they were. I don't know if they're National Guard, local police. I don't know. It's hard to see who they are. But they literally told them to walk down the street and enforce the illegal lockdown order that the Minnesotan governor decided to do. So I'm sorry, that's just a horrible impression of folks from, his hometown. But the point is, talk about Gestapo tactics. You unleash the military or the police or private security, whoever they were, with paintballs to shoot American citizens off their front porch. This is the bullshit they're trying to install in the United States government. They are trying to put this guy one heartbeat away from being president. And look what the people of the Democrat Party did to Joe Biden. I'm not a fan of Joe Biden, but what they did was bullshit. They uninstalled him after he was duly elected. They installed the worst piece of crap they could find. And then they installed another Gestapo tactic, stolen valor criminal to be the vice president. You people better wake up, because I'm telling you, you think I'm bullshitting you? Because my list of hashtags I told you so is getting pretty damn long. I'm not saying I get it always right. I make mistakes and I get it. But I try to bring the show to you, and I had some Democrats like, oh, you just think you're all that because you're a little show. I don't give a shit if I have one person, 100 people, 1,000 people. If I change one person's mind and get them to pay attention, get out and vote, do the right thing, get your neighbor to vote, get their neighbor to vote, get your grandma to vote. Like the nice lady in here said, it's the first time she's ever voted. Thank you, Jesus, for coming out and voted. If you got one more of the Gestapo leader, go ahead. I don't know if I'm a text behind or not.
You know it, you feel it. These guys are creepy and yes, just weird as hell. That's what you see. That's what you see.
Weird is putting tampons in little boys' bathrooms and thinking that it's okay.
Tampon Timmy.
Weird is making your state a sanctuary state so little kids can come and have sex change surgery. Weird is this guy that your closest advisor claiming to be a woman, using the pronouns as she and her. Now that's weird. Weird is seeing you and Kamala Harris stand beside this Democrats Protect Abortion sign.
Yeah.
You know how sick that is? Weird is you in this video, Mr. Walls, telling a bunch of parents that you support fourth graders changing their identity and using whichever bathroom they choose. What really grinds my gears the most is if you don't agree with these two numbnuts, you're weird. What's weird is signing a law into effect in your state, Mr. Walls, that allows a child to be aborted even after birth. Putting that screaming, crying baby into a room by itself, separate from the mother, and just letting it die. Now that is weird.
Yeah. So, the media's trying to play this guy. He's a war hero. He's a baseball coach. He was a teacher. It's all bullshit. Dig the truth out of who these people really are. When Kamala Harris was a senator, she had the worst rating and most liberal senator on the list. But that's why she was installed and was Sniffy Joe. So they know Joe wasn't going to make the fourth year. This is all part of their plan. They've orchestrated this thing out, So, all right, I just got a text. Brenda, bring Elizabeth in. Well, hello, Elizabeth.
Hello, Brian. How are you?
Thanks for stopping by. We kind of talked about you a little bit, so I hope your ears were ringing just
boy.
a little bit. Give us a quick background on who you are and what you do.
Oh, I'm Elizabeth Smith. I'm a stay-at-home mom of 3. I live in Springfield, Erie County. I'm the vice chair of Moms for Liberty, Erie County, PA. And I'm just getting into meetings about Trump campaign and all that kind of stuff. I'm actually at the Trump headquarters in Union City right now. I'm in my car, but it's across the street. And I'm a co-host of the podcast Conservative Voices Silenced.
And that's what I think is amazing about you. I mean, Moms for Liberty, boy, people snarl at you. You and I were on a list together.
Yes.
The haters put out a list of the people they hate the most, and you guys were number 1 and I was number 2. So I'm like, yes, I am in good company. Moms for Liberty, and you have a partner that helps you with the podcast also, correct?
Yes, her name is Christine Sposato. She is in Colorado. She actually had the podcast first. She wrote a book called Conservative Voices Silenced, And I had been dabbling in the idea of doing a podcast, which is completely out of my comfort zone. And we had become friends because of Moms for Liberty. And she had said, well, I have a podcast. I was looking for a co-host. Would you want to join? And I said, okay, let's try. Let's give it a try and see what happens. And we've been doing it for the last, I think we're coming on a year now.
I know that's right. I when I was starting this up and looking around, I was watching. I searched up local stuff. There's another local podcast. I'm not even going to talk about these guys because these guys are just they're out there. You know, they're lefties. That's fine. That you want to sit there. That's perfectly fine. That's what makes America great. And so where would we find your show?
We are anywhere that you can get your podcasts. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Rumble, everywhere.
Yeah, that's where I found you guys was on Rumble. I was like, everyone's like, Brian, you need to go to Rumble because that's where all the cool kids hang out. I'm like, well,
That's right.
I'm a cool kid or not. But then I started looking at Rumble and I'm like, oh my God, you know, and that's where I found your show. You know, you guys do a great job. You guys work together well. You know, you bring up good topics. You got a lot of good material. There's so much material to talk about. So before you came on, I was talking to the folks and saying, hey, I'm considering doing a Sunday. We usually do a Sunday matinee. Well, of course, one of my lefty left folks corrected me on the definition of what a matinee was. My time was off. I was too late in the evening for a matinee. You know, I just love how they, you know, they have to correct every little faux pas that they do. But you know, so how often do you guys do your show?
We try to get an episode out once a week. We try to get it Mondays. We actually had a few months where she had some health issues. She had her appendix burst, and then she got in a car accident. And then my son was in the hospital for a couple of days. So we took a few months off to just get better, get ourselves better, our family better. And now we've got episodes, we've got interviews for the next 2 months that are going to be coming out. We just did an episode with Tim Kramer, who I believe we just published that. Actually, we got that out earlier than planned. So you have to look for the one with Tim Kramer. He went against Mike Kelly. Fantastic interview with him. And we just did Sam Faddis as well, and his will be out on Monday.
Yeah, I've had Sam on the show a couple times. He's always just this great guy. I would love to sit down and say, listen, can you tell me some of the cool stuff you did that never happened? You know, because for I'm not going to say his company's name on the air because I don't want the black SUVs to show up and say, "What are you guys talking about us on the podcast?" No, I've had him. We talked about liberty times. You know, shook his hand. One of my DJ microphones he's had in his hand and gave a great presentation. Yeah, I met Mr. Kramer. I talked to him. I think he ran a decent campaign against Mike. But I gotta take the shot. I'm sorry. Nothing against you, any way, shape, or form. He's been a little snarky on social media against him. He should be kind of following in line and push. You know, that's what we do. That's what we saw happen with President Trump. You know, the people that ran against him lost fair and square. They licked their wounds. They came out and said, "We support you." Now, Mr. Kramer, I don't know if you watch the show or not. I would highly suggest if you think you're going to keep going in the Republican Party, you might want to change your tone with a very popular, you know, congressman that's done a lot of good things. And now look what I just bumped him the other day, you know, Mr. Kelly. I said, listen, sir, I said, I got to be honest with you. I said, I thank Jesus you are the guy heading up the task force to figure this whole assassination attempt out. Because if there was some other knucklehead in there, I would be like, I don't trust it. I don't believe it. So he's like, he just looked at me. He gave me a fist bump and says, "Thank you, Brian." So you know, yeah, that's politics. You pick your poison, pick your bed. So I mean, what other, you know, what do you guys talk about? I mean, you've got two great points, but what's your favorite thing to talk about?
Oh, I would say probably one of my favorites was talking to my friend Carrie Sloan. She has an organization called We the Female, and she helps female abuse victims get their concealed carry permits and learn how to shoot. Wow. And she was one of my absolute favorites. I've met her in person once. I got to know her through Instagram, and then was able to meet her once at it's called WAF training in Florida. and it's tactical training, and it was the most amazing experience. And I got to experience it with her, and her organization is just amazing. So I would say that was my favorite. The We the Female.
Oh, We the Female. Okay, gotcha. I like to repeat it because my lovely wife, the producer, she sits there and she types this information because, like, at the bottom of your screen, it says Elizabeth Smith, conservative voice is silenced. Little logo underneath you so people know who you're talking to. You know, we started out with just one laptop, one camera. We got a whole production thing going on now. But, you know, I love watching you guys show. You guys work together. You know, you can catch them on all the formats. Just Google them up. Go on Rumble. That's probably the nicest place to go. And just remember, support the people that put their necks on the line for you, we the people, because we actually make a little change. And I do mean just a little bit of change with our content and people catching on and everything. I think I'm up to $4 on Rumble. You know, I'm ready to retire. But yeah, you know, Moms for Liberty. So what have you guys got planned? Are you guys doing anything special for voting, or are you just, you know, what's up?
Well, the summit is coming the end of the month. It's actually in Washington, D.C. this year, and I'm really sad that I can't make it to it. But that's happening for the whole organization. Us specifically for the local chapter, we really can only help when there are board members that are up for reelection or up for election. So other ones, we can't really do anything. We can't endorse anybody but school board members.
Right.
So we kind of been taking a break, doing the family thing, the summer thing. So we'll see what happens when, you know, in the next couple of months when we kind of reorganize ourselves.
Yeah. Are you guys actively recruiting people to come help you join your organization?
We will always accept people to come and help us. We have had, as you know, you've been to some of our events,
Yes.
actually been to all of our events. And we try to get so many people involved. And sometimes it's really hard. There are some people that just, they don't want to show up. They want to say what we need to get done and what we should be doing, but they don't come to help. So if there's anybody that wants to join, we have a website, Moms for Liberty, Erie County, PA. Find us. We have free memberships. We have paid memberships. Anybody can join.
Yeah, because I showed up. You guys were in Mill Creek at the Asbury Barn. Was that right?
Yeah,
And
that's the
you guys
last thing we
had
did.
all well organized. You had our little places all set up for us to put our blings for the folks coming in, and it was a great event. You know, people came in, talked to the candidates, and we appreciate it. Because if we the people don't make a stand, you know, we're going to be that socialist governed country. And I mean, the schools have really got out of control, and it's people like you and your organization that keep them on because they know you guys are nipping at their heels. You're pushing candidates, you're making sure they're doing the right things. I went to some of the school board meetings in my district. I was shocked. I mean, really shocked. So, you know, I salute you folks for what you guys do to try to keep these people, you know, on the straight and narrow. And again, when you get put on a naughty list and you are number one, you know you're doing your job. That's what I tell people. When people say, "Oh, Brian, they're really hating on you," all right, I'm doing my job. And they hate that Trump trip. They hate it. They hate that thing because if people come out and they stop. Hey, could I get a picture and everything? Yeah. You know, I appreciate you. I know your time's valuable. You know, just make sure that, you know, you and I, we need to talk more. Let's bring these shows together. Let's have a united front. You know, separately we're doing great, but let's make sure we do it great together. So, you know, I appreciate you coming live from Union City. And again, how do we get a hold of you? How do we find you? And where do we find you?
Well, you can send any messages you'd like, any comments, concerns. If there's anybody you'd like to see on our podcast, we're comments at conservativevoicessilence.com. And we're also on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, anywhere you listen to your podcasts, we're there.
Nice. Say someone wanted to run for school board. If they came to you and said, "Hey, I need some help," is that something you guys do?
I would love to help anybody that wants to run for school board. I actually did it myself 3 times.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Yes, I did for Northwestern School District. And the first time it was a last minute decision. It was 2 weeks before the election, and I ran with a friend as a write-in. We didn't make it, but the next time around, we got our names on the ballot, and she actually ended up getting on the school board. So now our school board it's 5-4. So we now have more, because before it was 6-3. It was always 6 against the 3. And now it's 5-4. So now it's closer, and you have, everybody gets along, and things are just really, really great now. So hopefully it stays that way. So it's not easy. I can tell you it's not easy. It's a little cutthroat sometimes.
Oh, I
But
get it. And you guys, mostly school board positions are not paid, correct?
they are not paid. That is
Yeah.
correct.
And that you're taking on a lot of, trust me, on county council, we made 53 cents an hour. So don't feel bad. Don't
Yeah, and
feel
it's
bad.
it's a 4-year commitment too. So if you're going to do it, be ready for it. But I would love to help anybody that needs help.
There you go. If you guys and gals are looking at running a school board, it does take a little bit of time, but it's not like a full-time job. Reach out to Elizabeth, her gang, and they'll I shouldn't say gang, organization. Yeah, there's a bunch of rolling gags, Moms for Liberty, Right. No, thank you for your time. I know it's busy. I know you got some travel time ahead of you. Do well in Union City. We're gonna take the Trump train through there Sunday. So if you're around, yeah, we're gonna come through Union City probably about 12:30. And we appreciate your time. We'll have you come back on the show sometime, and you're not live from your car. But
Sorry about the lighting, everybody. Our lighting is, and I've got the lights outside, but
no, it's perfectly
the
fine. It's nice that we have the technology that we can just send you a link and you pop up. The
Yeah,
phones are spotty, and I know that sometimes they get a little digitally, but when we come through Restream, it works out really well. So thank you for your time. We appreciate you. Keep up the good work. I'm proud to be number 2 behind you on the list of hate.
Thank you so much. I am too.
All right, drive safe, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Well, there you go. Moms of Liberty. And they have their own little they have their podcast up and running on Rumble and any other format you want to. You want to really dig into to 2 women that are active in their community. There they go. They literally the haters put out a list of the people they hate. Moms of Liberty number 1, Shank number 2. Woo! So you're hitting them in the nerve, and we're making them angry when you come up on a list. But yeah, so now we've got all the folks out of the way. Anybody wants to give me a call, area code 814-873-3612. If you're a hater, I will cut you off and block you in about 5 seconds. As the words of Scott Bremner used to say, it's my show. I've waited a lifetime to say that. So, let's play some.
To ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
All right. Brendan, you got any videos
The
up for us?
inflation, it doesn't matter what you make. The inflation is eating you alive. If you're a worker or if you're just a middle income person, you can't afford. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, people were saving a lot of money. Today, they're using all their money and borrowing money just to live. It's a horrible thing that's happening, and we'll end that
Well, I
quickly.
think a lot of a lot of people just don't understand where inflation comes from. Inflation comes from government overspending because the checks never bounce when it's written by the government. So if the government spends far more than it brings in, that increases the money supply, and if the money supply increases faster than the rate of goods and services, that's inflation. So really, we need to have we need to reduce our government spending, and we need to re-examine. I think we need like a government efficiency commission to say like, hey, where are we spending money that's sensible? Where is it not sensible? And we need to live within our means. We're currently adding, I think, $1 trillion to the deficit roughly every 100 days.
That's right.
And the interest payments on the national debt have now exceeded the defense budget. It's on the order of $1 trillion.
It's interest,
and it keeps growing.
And I saw an ad by Kamala saying how she is going to provide border security. Where has she been for 3.5 years? For 3.5 years,
Yeah, no,
we have 20 million people
I think
poured
is
in. It's a terrible.
yeah, I think this, frankly, I think this is a fundamental existential issue for the United States. And if we have another 4 more years of open borders, and it's going to be even worse with another 4 more years. It's going to be even worse than it's been for the past 3.5 years. I'm not sure we've got a country
You don't
left
have a country
at that
left.
point.
Elon, if they get in, you will have 50 to 60 million people from all over the world, not South America only. You know, we think of South America, we think of Honduras and El Salvador, Guatemala, and Mexico, you know, the four. But it's not that. It's everywhere. They're coming in from
Yeah,
everywhere. And I had to stay in
yeah, I think
Mexico.
this is a super important
Yeah.
point. Like people, it's like basically when I went down there, I was like, well, where are people from? It's like almost no one was from Mexico. To
No,
be clear,
Mexico
it's
less,
it's just it's just
less
it's
than
just the
the others.
border. It's just the border with Mexico. But the people coming in, it's Earth, the rest of Earth, and America is only about 4 or 5% of the population of Earth. It would only take a few percent of the rest of Earth to overwhelm everything in the
We're
U.S.
already
So.
overwhelmed, Elon. We're overwhelmed.
There you go. Probably one of the biggest interviews that the internet has ever seen. Elon Musk and President Donald Trump, they got together and they put this interview together. And man, the haters are hating because so many people were listening and just trying to pick it apart. Now they're trying to ban Elon for what he did. Go ahead, ban him from what? His own company. I wish he could just write a check and buy Facebook and get rid of Zuckerberg and all those little fact checkers. So yeah, I mean, it's been an interesting show. We had a lot of good call-ins. We got a lot of good information out there. Again, if we don't get another caller here, we're gonna go ahead and wind this thing up. Brenda, you got another good video for us to let the people know what's really going on, other than what mainstream decides.
We need to get radical about what we are doing and take it seriously.
A primetime investigation into Kamala Harris.
How dare they?
The bandwidth apparently was adequate for the shooter's drone, but not for the Secret Service. Can you explain that?
I have no explanation for it, sir.
A Secret Service whistleblower says another assassination attempt is coming.
Throughout American history, when white men have...
Mr. Stan Williams, thank you for calling in. You are live, sir.
Yes, sir. How you doing, my fine friend?
I was just sitting here looking through the curtains at my great flag.
Yeah, you're a great man. I apologize. I had kind of life got in the way tonight, and but I got in late, and I wanted to call in and just say that I appreciate everything that you and Brenda and everything that you guys are doing for the party and the time that you're giving in for things and stuff. And I wanted to share my support. I'm sorry. I'm not big on the phone, but just wanted to give it to you that way.
Oh, I appreciate it. You might be a man with words, but you're a good man with a lathe. I watched. The story is my flagpole pulley broke at the top of the flag. I had no way to get up there. My chubbiness would bend the pole over. So I reached out to Stan and said, Stan, how do we fix it? He goes, well, I got an idea. I'll strap a ladder to my dump truck. I'll put the dump truck up in the air. It'll act as support. And I'm like, holy crap, that'll work. So we got up there and, Stan gets up there and he takes it and I get a new one. I put there. It won't fit. It won't fit. It's just a snitch off. I don't know how much of a snitch is in your world, but it's just a snitch. So he's like, that's okay. I'll go over to our shop where I work. And he put on a lathe and he made a special little adapter. And I can look out there and I can see it. And every time I do it, I say, Stan made that adapter. But thank you for what you do. You might be not the best talker in the world. Leave the talking to me. You can machine anything and fix anything. And that's why we love people like you.
We appreciate it, man, very much. And we're all standing behind you, whatever we can do and stuff for you, man.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you.
Absolutely, my friend.
All right, Shank out. Then I can.
We need to get radical about what we are doing and take it seriously.
A primetime investigation into Kamala Harris.
How dare they?
The bandwidth apparently was adequate for the shooter's drone, but not for the Secret Service. Can you explain that?
I have no explanation for it, sir.
A Secret Service whistleblower says another assassination attempt is coming.
Throughout American history, when white men have organized, it was often with pointy hats on. Masculinity as a trope has been co-opted by the
bed. Get up and get ready. And
She gets her hands on America.
there's going to be a time of struggle or definition as to who Vice President Harris is. And we better be ready for that.
That's a great question. Who is Kamala Harris? Let's hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, I am radical. I do believe that we need to get radical about what we are doing and take it seriously.
Kamala Harris is a San Francisco radical, tagged as the most liberal senator to the left of Bernie Sanders.
Wow.
And if she gets her hands on America, she'll empty the prisons.
I absolutely am without any question committed to reducing the prison population. I'm not going to commit to a specific number because I want to make sure I can meet it. But I am committed to drastically reducing our prison population.
Kamala doesn't want to lock up more criminals, and the criminals who are already locked up, she wants to let them out early. And if you're on death row for murder, she wants to let you vote.
People who are convicted in prison, like the Boston Marathon bomber, on death row, people who are convicted of sexual assault, they should be able to vote?
I think we should have that conversation.
Kamala wants ballot harvesting inside of prisons. She also wants to defund the police.
It is wrong-headed thinking to think that the only way you're going to get communities to be safe is to put more police officers on the street.
Where do you stand on defund the police?
Look, right. So here's the thing. Defund the police. The issue behind it is that we need to reimagine how we are creating safety.
So when the prisons are emptied and the police are defunded, she wants to seize your guns so you can't defend yourself.
What would you do about the millions of, specifically, assault weapons that are already in circulation? What do you do about those?
We have to have a buyback program, and I support a mandatory buyback program.
Mandatory buyback means the government knocks at your door, takes your rifle, and mails you a tiny check. Your home won't be protected, and neither will the border.
We're not going to treat people who are undocumented across the border as criminals. That's correct. That is correct.
So it's not a crime to break into the country in Kamala's America, but...
Hi, caller, you're on the air. Okay.
If you do, and you rape a kid, ICE won't pick you up, because ICE will be gone.
I think there's no question that we've got to critically re-examine ICE and its role and the way that it is being administered and the work it is doing, and we need to probably think about starting from scratch.
Well, you might as well start from scratch, too, because your job will be gone. Kamala Harris backs AOC's Green New Deal and wants to ban American natural gas exploration.
I am offering a Green New Deal that has been described as one of the most aggressive and progressive. There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
Would you ban offshore drilling?
Yes.
The Green New Deal taxes cow flatulence, spends billions on solar-powered airplanes, seems safe, and sends millions of American energy jobs to China. And after your job's gone, she wants to take away your private health insurance, too.
You support the Medicare for All bill, I think initially co-sponsored by Senator Bernie Sanders. You're also a co-sponsor on it. I believe it will totally eliminate private insurance. So for people out there who like their insurance, they don't get to keep it?
Let's eliminate all of that. Let's move on.
Kamala keeps her nice health care.
Let's move on.
But you have to wait in line for months like a Canadian to see a doctor. Or die on a waiting list. But if you're in prison, you get the best health care ever.
I made sure that they changed the policy in the state of California so that every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access to the medical care that they desired and need.
Taxpayer-funded sex changes for prison inmates. $100,000 surgery so men can switch to women's prisons and have more fun. If the country weren't bankrupt enough, how about some reparations?
Should black people get reparations?
I think there has to be some form of reparations, and we can discuss what that is.
That's the Kamala Harris record. She's extreme, she's dangerous, she's flat out crazy. After Trump pointed all of that out, the Harris campaign says she doesn't believe those things anymore. Their defense is, yeah, all those things Kamala said 4 years ago were lies. This isn't a woman you can trust. And the biggest lie she told was that Joe Biden had his act together.
Yeah.
She lied right to our face.
Right.
If there ever is a problem,
Yeah.
do you think that you could go tell the American public? Do you think in your role that you're in a position to do that?
Of course, if necessary, but there's no need for that.
There was. This is a radical and power-hungry San Francisco sideshow who will do or say anything to get ahead. She's done nothing to help you get ahead. She gets ahead. It's all about her. And everything she's gotten has been handed to her. The California machine promoted her. She didn't win competitive races. She's a Democrat in California. The only time she faced serious competition, she flamed out. Not a single vote. She called Joe Biden a racist and then joined his ticket. Joe got lucky because of COVID, brought her along for the ride, and then the two of them wrecked the country. Joe made her border czar. She never showed up to work. Death and destruction everywhere. He put her in charge of that voting bill. Failed. Thank God. He sent her to Europe to warn Russia not to invade Ukraine. Putin laughed and invaded the same week. She's not respected overseas. She's not respected on the left. A year ago, they tried to kick her off the ticket. She's not even respected by her own staff. They've all quit. She's not respected because she's an incompetent San Francisco socialist whose administration almost got Trump assassinated. Let 10 million foreigners pour into the country and spent so much money on boondoggles that inflation raged and crushed your wages. USA Today said Kamala's biggest accomplishment as vice president was visiting an abortion clinic. When he was VP, Al Gore invented the internet, okay? Now, if they install this woman into the White House, the military-industrial complex is going to control her. We'll be at war with Russia before you know it. Lobbyists are already licking their chops. They can't wait to grease the Harris administration. It's like taking candy from a baby. This is a frivolous fraud who hasn't solved a single problem, gotten on top from handouts, never lifting a finger to help the American people. She's only there to help herself.
Well, that sums it up, boys and girls. I'm telling you, it's there, but the media won't give this to you. The local internet media is an absolute joke. President Trump or any Republican could go out and save a kid from a burning building, and they would turn around and say, well, he probably set the building on fire. It's just like the last one where, again, the Trump campaign people had their internet hacked. They had their computers hacked, and everyone's like, oh yeah, they just did that on purpose. Yeah. Kind of like Russia. Remember how that was all part of the Russian thing, and it was proven a big fat lie. That's all these people know how to do is lie. Nancy Pelosi, and he's razor, that thing sharp. Come on, man. He's not razor sharp. He might have been, 50 years ago, he wasn't even sharp enough to write his own material. He got busted for plagiarizing in college, got busted for plagiarizing when he ran for president, and cost him the presidency. But when they gave it, they said, well, let's give the old guy the a participation trophy and make him president, and let's put up that whatever she is, Black, Asian, Jamaican woman, whatever she wants. But here's the people, if you really pay attention, it's exactly the same playbook of Joe Biden. I was raised by mostly Puerto Ricans. Kamala Harris was Black. Well, no, when she got elected, she was from Southeast Asia. First president, vice president from Asia. And then Joe Biden, oh yeah, I was raised with the Jewish families. And then Kamala Harris is still now she wants that Black vote. Now she's Black. And I like to still see the math behind how all this works. How if you have a guy, her father, that was from Jamaica, she's from India, how does that make you Black? How does that make you Black? All I know is Google this stuff up while it's still available. Kamala Harris's great-great-grandfather was a slave owner. A slave owner. And she sits there and looks you square in the eye and says, you people need to pay reparations for what my family did. But she won't say that, but that's it. I mean, do you think I'm wrong? Call me up, tell me I'm wrong. And if you got the mojo to prove me wrong, knock yourself out. Yeah, go ahead. Harris ran a commercial and forgot to get the, what is it, Los Angeles County Sheriff, the sheriff. I mean, these guys, not just like, little sheriff in Tennessee's backwater somewhere. LA County Sheriff was utilized in one of her commercials, and man, is he pissed. Roll it, please.
So for me in law enforcement to see my face and image along with my law enforcement counterparts being represented as standing alongside Kamala Harris was truly disheartening. We do not support Kamala Harris. She has a history of not supporting law enforcement. She's not supportive of a secure and strong border. It's evident when we have untold amounts of fentanyl, cartels right here in my county that we have worked to dismantle, along with human trafficking that takes place up and down the state of California, right across the border. When she was the Attorney General, that could have been secured. It wasn't. Her as Vice President could have made moves to secure that. It wasn't.
Yeah, you guys can sit there and say, "Oh, Shank, you're just full of hot air. You're full of this, that, the other thing." LA County Sheriff, LA County, probably one of the biggest counties in the country. It's just like Sniffy Joe talking about the Border Patrol agents backing him during that debacle debate. Before the words were even spoken, they're on Twitter, their union. We do not support the president. No way, no how, never will, never have. Tweeting that shit out there because all these Democrats do is blow smoke up your ass, tell you what you want to hear. And that's what they think that you're dumb enough to believe it. And that's the problem. They are. Well, Trump's a felon. Of what? I ask that question every time. Trump's a felon. Of what? Give me three. Give me one. Give me two of one of his felonies. Give them up. There isn't any. They don't exist. And they're going to get thrown out in court. We get that, that'll get all thrown out. We know that. And this is just part of the game. And that way, this is the only argument they have. Trump's a felon. Trump's a felon. Trump's a felon. Republicans are weird. Republicans are weird. Well, I'd rather be weird than part of the Democrat cult. Like you guys are cult members. No, actually, you people are. And other than that, I think I'm going to bring this thing in. It's about 9:30. 9:37. So we've been rolling pretty good. We covered a lot of things. We'll come back together next on Wednesday. And, I want to personally thank Brenda for keeping the show on the road, making the videos right, and keeping me on track. So, yeah, we're going to bring it in for a landing, and I'm going to say goodnight. So, Brenda, if you roll the outro, I appreciate it, please.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. Sing it! God bless the USA! From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say
All right, everybody, thanks for coming out. I really appreciate your time. Let me come into your house via the internet and talk about things that are important. We have to get this right. We have zero room for error. And if you think that a 22% turnout rate is going to put this country back on track, you've been dipping into the wine just a little bit too deep. We got to get out and vote. It's that simple. Thanks for coming by. God bless America. And let's be safe. Hopefully I see you, everybody, on Sunday. I don't care if it's raining. We're still going to put this Trump train right through where we said we're going to take it, because our word is our bond. You know what I'm going to say now? I'm going to say Shank out.